This is The Naturalist.
Yes, your go-to place for all things CPG. I am Adrienne Smith.
Jessica Rubino.
And we're going to talk about trends today.
We are. We
talk a lot about trends.
But now we're talking Expo West trends.
Yeah.
Things you will see. And really,
pulling out the big guns.
The big guns. But the thing about it is Expo West trends. Expo West is the event for the industry. And so it's like anything that you're seeing. We just had a great trends conversation with not just our content team, but all different people across our health and nutrition world. So that includes our supply side friends and, of course, NBJ and New Hope and Expo. And basically everyone who's doing important work in the industry was there because
everyone
was there. But point is, we see so much at Expo West that when we talk about these bigger industry trends or issues, they are bound to manifest on the show floor at Expo. So anything that we're talking about today, you should expect to see throughout the year and for years to come, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you to our sponsors, Daabon, Advantage Solutions, FrieslandCampina Ingredients,
Lakanto,
and A Greener World. At FrieslandCampina Ingredients, we're committed to providing innovative, nutritious ingredients to address health and well-being challenges worldwide. Our mission is to supply the right ingredients to food and beverage brands, working with them to create highly nutritious and sustainable applications to help people get the most out of life, always.
Today's episode is brought to you by Lakanto, a brand on a mission to bring chi to life. Founded 30 years ago in Japan, Lakanto's story began with Shota Saraya, a successful entrepreneur with a sweet tooth who was diagnosed with diabetes. Refusing to give up life's sweetness, he and his team developed the modern monk fruit extraction process, creating the world's first monk fruit sweetener. Today, Lakanto offers 0 and reduced sugar sweeteners, syrups, baking mixes, and ready-to-eat snacks, all designed to help people enjoy sweetness as part of a more balanced, intentional way of eating. Can I kick things off?
Sure.
So one of the trends I can't let an episode go by without talking about the Nexties. One of the trends that we saw a lot of in the Nexties is just the absolute explosion of regenerative. But what's really cool is that we're starting to see regenerative organic products infiltrate the most kind of basic pantry staples, refrigerator staples. So we're not just looking at very specialty products anymore. We're looking at things that you put in your shopping cart every time you go to the store. So for example, Bio Nature has this that's how I say it. They have this fantastic can of just tomatoes, regenerative organic certified tomatoes. And what's really cool about this product is that they're bringing the price point to a place where it's on par with, not your kind of average tomatoes, but kind of gourmet, nice supermarket tomatoes, but it's regenerative organic certified.
Yes.
So we're also seeing that Sprouts has a new brand of regenerative organic cold brew coffee that's at a fantastic price point as well. So lots of these like basic cart staples.
Yeah.
With regenerative organic certification.
So moving out of this kind of premium positioning into these staple categories, making it more accessible, the scalability.
Absolutely.
Because not only does that make the price points more accessible, but also ensures that it's having a broader impact, right? These ingredients that are sourced in large quantities. Yeah. And I do think that that private label piece is really interesting in some of those categories you called out. So very cool to see that. I like that you talked about regenerative organic. That's certainly something that we'll see more conversations around, is really understanding the certifications. And there's a lot happening out there, but certainly the organic community is really advocating for regenerative organic certified products. So expect to see some content around that at the show, as well as those labels on products and certifications, and demystifying that for consumers too.
Absolutely. And a brand that I know is going to be at the show that has just launched a bunch of regenerative organic certified products is Skywalker Ranch. I always say Skywalker. It's Star Walker Ranch, but I'm a Star Wars nerd, so just go with it.
But the worst part is I'm like, oh, yes, I love that.
They have the Luke Skywalker. No, they have regenerative organic ground beef. They have a bacon now, so a fresh regenerative organic bacon and meat sticks. So they're definitely going to be at the show. And of course, that ties into another trend that we've talked about, which is that farmer-centric branding, those farmer-centric products, those stories that we're seeing a lot of.
Yeah. And I love that because, of course, we've seen that in the natural and organic product industry over the years, but it just seems like their business models are getting more sophisticated. Mm-hmm. These farmer-owned brands are really succeeding in the marketplace. And it's something that's stories that are connecting with consumers. And I think all of this just speaks to around the regenerative category. People are connecting with it because it's a really restorative message, right? Like it's positive, it's feeding the land, it's feeding the soil, and it's feeding and nourishing our bodies. So I think the whole kind of vision behind it is one that feels really empowering. You also talked about, we'll talk more about animal proteins because there's a ton happening there, but as it relates to regenerative systems, also thinking about use of the whole animal. So we're seeing all these different animal parts being utilized, not only across different products, but across different categories. Yeah. So nothing going to waste. And that, of course, is something that's important here too.
Along those lines, we've seen, of course, whey in beverages. We're seeing it in obviously supplements and protein powders and all of those things. But it cracked me up the other day. I was reading through the pages of Natural Foods Merchandiser, the Expo West issue. Yeah. And I had this panic attack. So it was the last minute. It was about to go to press. And I thought, oh my gosh, we featured this product. It was a clear protein beverage. We featured it in the last issue of the magazine. Oh, yes. So I had this whole panicking. And then I realized it was a different one. And not only that, but we had two other ones on the same pages. So clear protein whey beverages, huge trend. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that at Expo West for sure.
This episode is brought to you by A Greener World. Shoppers today want to know how their food is really produced. A Greener World connects mindful consumers, farmers, and brands through meaningful and transparent sustainability certifications. AGW certified producers offer a reliable supply of sustainable, ethical products that consumers trust, helping you meet consumer demand while making a difference for the welfare of our planet, animals, and people. Learn about our certifications and how to source AGW certified products at agreenerworld.org. At Daabon, sustainability starts from the soil. For more than a century, Daabon has grown with one mission: to nurture people and planet. Founded in Santa Marta, Colombia, and proudly carried forward by its third generation, Daabon brings sustainable, traceable, and organic palm oil solutions to brands across the world. From the soil to the market, every step reflects our family's commitment to integrity, innovation, and respect for nature. Daabon, the future of palm oil. 100%. And just should we talk about protein again?
Let's talk about protein.
We can't.
We really can't not talk about protein.
We have to, but the unique applications that we're seeing, you have a lot of protein products that are showing up, as you mentioned, in NFM.
Yeah, and cross categories. One of the products I'm excited to see is this PKN pecan milk. So what they've done is they've taken a plant milk, really clean ingredients. It's non-GMO project verified, gluten-free certified, and they've added pea protein to it while trying to maintain that really creamy, nutty barista kind of feel. But so not only are we seeing kind of these specific formulations of protein, but we're also seeing protein moving into products that you might not have seen it before.
Yeah, and another product here is plant protein, protein iced coffee, and then Milton's, which I love those crackers. Yeah, so just like another staple, but protein crackers and in red chili flavor. So just like different ways. But I like this, a lot of the products that you feature here, because we're of course talking a lot about animal protein, but plant protein and formulating better for better tastes and textures and better kind of purity and quality is also something that we continue to see. So it's not just animal protein. It's all different because a couple of these examples do have pea protein and other plant-based protein sources.
Yes. Now, if we want to keep talking a little bit more about foods and beverages before we move into supplements, some other trends we're still seeing, we've seen before, obviously nostalgia.
Yes.
But also that simplicity, simple ingredient lists, really back to basics approach to product formulations, to flavor. Well, I wouldn't say as much flavor profiles because we're also seeing a lot of really fun flavor profiles on things like beef jerkies, on chips, but again, really clean ingredients.
Yes. Yeah. And In that nostalgia conversation, I mean, some of this is like just national dialogue that's happening, but the return to whole milk, whole fat milk and dairy, which, interesting, like so many things these days is a bit politicized, which is interesting. Yeah. But, we see dairy and, just return to macros. That's where we're seeing other ingredients making or having this resurgence. A couple of the ones that we talked about in our last trends conversation were soy. So soy also kind of having a little bit of a comeback, and absolutely fiber. You hear people saying, I mean, it's funny. People are like, is fiber the new protein? It's like fiber and protein have been around for a long time.
Fiber is the new fiber.
Fiber is the new, exactly. But tons of fiber.
Yeah. Yes. I think the key with fiber, and of course, we've talked about this before, but once it moved down to that like 1980s, like bathroom conversation, and now it's moved into this more sophisticated gut health, improves your mood, improves menopause, and improves all the things, helps you sleep. I mean, that really is where fiber got sexy again. If we can, I'm going to say it. Fiber is sexy.
And gut health, again, nothing new, but seeing these really fun gut health products. I actually love the branding on a lot of the gut health products that we featured, but we have this great she's glowing daily collagen and fiber powder. So I think we'll probably see more of that, both protein and fiber, because people are looking for both of those things. And we're just seeing a lot of that like multi-benefit positioning of products because consumers are also wanting to make the most of their purchases. And if you can buy something that achieves two health goals, there you go.
And I don't know if you noticed the name of that brand, Legendary. Dairy. Isn't that cute? Legendary milk.
You know me. I love a good pun.
I do too.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? And then, of course, some of the classics, like Good Belly has this digestion and immunity shot, I believe, or is that and a blueberry and acai flavored, probiotics, prebiotic fiber, because that's another part of the fiber conversation, prebiotics and how they work with probiotics to restore gut health.
Do you have a favorite fiber product?
I don't, but it's so interesting. My husband came back like the other day from the grocery store and he was like, I got this fiber supplement. Like, I think I need a fiber supplement. I wasn't even talking about fiber and he just came back with a fiber supplement.
He is so ahead of the trend. That's because he listens to The Naturalist.
Yeah, I think it is too. And any other gut health products that you were particularly excited about?
Advantage Solutions is the leading omnichannel retail solutions agency in North America, connecting CPG brands and retailers to drive sales for less. Advantage leverages its unparalleled insights, expertise, and relationships to help brands and retailers of all sizes generate demand and get products into the hands of consumers wherever they shop. With a passion for serving founders within the natural and organic channel, FDM, a division of Advantage, helps emerging brands break through, grow with the right retailers, build sustainable momentum, and successfully scale.
Well, you know me. I like apples and flaxseed. But no, there are a lot of great products here. I mean, Suja's done a new multivitamin shot that has added fiber. We're seeing breads with a lot of added fiber, and those could be the gluten-free breads. It could be really grain-forward breads, lots of added fiber. Of course, bread is somewhere we've always seen fiber, but it's kind of fun to see bread kind of getting its moment.
Yeah. Oh, bread getting its moment. I want to talk about that for a second, though, because apparently, like, our Beacon team reported that breads are like one of the trending categories. People just liking these, like, and I think functional breads is interesting, but just like a good, like, kind of like grainy, delicious bread, because more people are bringing their lunches to work again.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's kind of a consumer movement of just like pack your lunch, have a nice classic sandwich. Maybe that ties to the nostalgia thing as well. Oh, but I did want to also talk about this. We are bouncing.
We're bouncing.
It's okay.
Oh, but menopause
and fiber. And you were talking about this, but this season 34, I'm pretty sure that's a brand new company. I've seen them come through and in their early stages, but their menopause product is built around synbiotics. So biotics, probiotics, and post-biotics all together, working together. So we'll see more of that too.
The triple biotic.
Benefit stacking, I mentioned that a little bit, but that was a term that I really liked that came up in our conversation.
Yeah.
The benefit stacking, it's not just about one thing, but it's about the multiple benefits that it's bringing. Certainly seeing more of that. And then also just in the functional space, do we think we'll see more personalization of products?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we've certainly seen a lot of evidence that that's coming down the pipeline. I mean, we've had, across categories as well, but in personal care, we're seeing things targeted at specific audiences and not just women anymore. What about in supplements, of course?
Absolutely. And I think companies are still just trying to crack the code of how to marry, these wearables and the data that consumers are capturing about their health, about their sleep, about their athletic performance, and then using that to inform purchasing decisions. So whether we will truly see more personalization of products, I don't know, because that's been really challenging for companies to scale. But what I do know is that companies will figure out how they align with diagnostic tools and wearable devices in a way that makes consumers feel empowered while also protecting their data and all of the important kind of legal nuances that come with it. So that space is absolutely evolving. We do also see a lot of companies that were starting in the practitioner space, moving into retail. And those are the types of companies that have really invested in like practitioner support and these more technology-based tools to help consumers on their health journeys. So I'm excited to see some of those bigger companies in practitioner moving into retail and bringing some of those advancements with them.
Well, and I think in terms of personalization, that these brands are coming in with a lot of integrity, a lot of clinical studies. That's really important. It's not just about putting a pink label on a protein powder and calling it for women and a blue label and calling it for men,
right?
Which we've certainly seen before. But
no more shrink it and pink.
No more shrink it and pink it. I couldn't think of
the worst term ever. No more of that at all. But lots of hormonal and life stage health, women's health, not going anywhere, and major investments in clinical studies on women to support the products that are then reaching and supporting women, but also men's health getting more nuanced in some of the positioning around that. And overall, I would say the overarching theme there is hormonal health, understanding the nuances of hormonal health and everything that needs to go into understanding that in order to provide research-backed solutions. So lots of that happening.
Yeah, and I'm here for it.
Me too. We do have to talk about clean beauty and personal care before we wrap up, because that is a big focus for us, is getting all of this amazing clean beauty out there into the world. I do have to give the Naturalist a shout out, because I don't know if you saw, but we were picked up by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
No.
Yes, the Naturalist was quoted by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. It's on LinkedIn, and then there's a whole article about it. It was like the top 5 trends that are going to impact business, any kind of business, not just like CPG industry, but business. And one of them was our trend for 2026 around clean beauty broadening its reach.
No way.
Cleaner, safer beauty products reaching teens and tweens and men and people of color. And so I think that is so cool that is recognized nationally.
I can't believe you're just telling me this now.
I want to see your real reaction on camera. Look at this. We're so excited. But we continue to see personal care being elevated, and you have some great products at NFM that demonstrate this.
Yeah, what I think is really cool is that in personal care, we're also seeing those kind of function stacking. What's the
benefits
stacking? So, for example, Inorganic has a mask that helps encourage good sleep. So it's a face mask, but it's infused with different things that are helping to encourage your sleep. So lots of these benefit stacking ideas where it's not just, of course, we talk about beauty from within and, collagen and things, that glow, but it's more going beyond that to other things. So how some of these products are really digging a little bit deeper and addressing other things.
I love that. I think it speaks to self-care and overall wellness, products that address sleep, Slept. I didn't get.
You need to get more
last night.
sleep.
I need to sleep. Sleep, stress, hormonal balance,
Yes.
all of these things. And also just we need to take time to nurture ourselves so that we can show up for others in the way that we need.
That self-care.
So remember
so
that.
important.
Going into Expo West, everyone, wear your...
I'm going to wear my sleep mask after.
Okay, we have a lot. We might have to do a part 2 of
I think
Expo
we
West
do.
Trends
I think we
because
do.
that was
Short and sweet.
it was short. I hope it was sweet. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Rate and subscribe, and I'll see you at Expo West. Where are you going to be?
I'll be cheering from the sidelines this year.